Friends, welcome to my channel Go Digit. Today in this video we will continue our learning of service management module. So in the last video we have started with the activation of service management module in the Business Central. So if you do not know how to activate and how to set this role center or the profile for your service user in the Business Central, then you can watch that video first. Today we will extend our learning with respect to how to set up your service management module before you actually start working with the uh, service orders or the quotations or the invoices, right? So what I can do here is I can click on explore more roles, and then I will click on this explore button. So here, as I explained you last time as well about different types of processes which are linked with the service management module. So the very first thing which we all have to do before we start working with the service management is that we have to look after this setup module. Okay, so you can see from here that so many options are showing up here. First of all, not every option is applicable to your business, so it totally depends that what type of business you are running and what type of services you are offering to your customers, and based on that you need to check these out and fill this up. But of course, the first thing first is that we have to click on this service setup. So let's click on this, and this is the major screen, or you can say a one screen through which you can handle all your different settings of service management setup. Okay, so the first thing, as you can see, that I have already set it up, so that's why you can see that some are set as true, some are set as false, and uh, like this way. But let's see this the first very tab which we all have to look after is this one called numbering. So as soon as you open the service management setup, you just directly come to this numbering tab and fill out the fields which are showing up here in this tab based on your requirement, right? So the very first thing is this service item numbers. So of course, because if you are dealing in the service business, then definitely you are dealing with the service items, right? The items which you service. Maybe it totally depends that those items which you are servicing could be a part of your inventory or could not be a part of your inventory. Okay, so let's see this thing, that when you drill this down, it will open up this page called number series page, which you can directly open from here as well when you type number series. Okay, so when you open this page, either from the search bar or through this screen, is that you have to create a new number series for your service item, right? This is currently a Cronus company with the demo data, so that is why already I am seeing this number series which is linked to my service item, where the code is just that based on the code which Microsoft is giving here, where SVC denotes the service module and item denotes that it is linked to the item module. Okay, then the description is service items, and then the starting number is SV0001 to 99999, and last number used, last date used, which means that uh, that my service item numbers will be uh, like this way, right? And the last time I used this was on this date, and the last number which was used is this one. Okay, when you click on this, here basically you can define your service item number. So you can pick this one, or if you follow some unique number series based on year, based on month, based on date, or any kind of uh, unique combination which you want to follow for your service module, okay, service item thing. You can follow that and update the things here, okay, and that's how a system will start registering your service item in this way. All right, so the first thing first is that you have to fill out this number series for service item. Of course, then it depends on that whether you offer quotation to your customers before the customer approved your quotation and then you go with the orders. Then you have to define the quotation number series as well, then service order number, service invoice number, right? And after you post those service order and like after you delivered all your services and you get paid for it, you should you should post the service order and the invoices, and hence the posted service invoice number and posted service credit memo numbers number series, you have to define all this here. All right, if you are dealing with the contracts, then you have to define the number series for your service contracts process here. So that's what I'm saying is that it is very important tab that you need to fill out before you actually start with your particular process. Okay, then come up this with archiving section here. Generally, because quotation is something which is as soon as your customer approved your quotation, you will start doing the actual business with that customer. So whatever quotation you will make, if you really want to archive them or if you do not want to archive them, based on this setting, system will do the needful for you, and same goes for the orders as well. Okay, now let's see this default option. Default option, as you can see, or default tab, it has three fields. One field is like default response time or hours. Here I have filled out 8, which means 8 hours, or you can put it out 2, you can put out 3, 20, based on your how you actually start off with your service order. So basically it's if you put your tab here, what it is saying, specifies a default response time in hours required to start service either on the service order or on a service item line. So basically, as soon as your company got the service order from your customer, right? As soon as the service order got registered into the Business Central, how fast you start working on those orders, right? So basically, what is your response time before you set up everything and start working on that order to deliver the services to the customer, is actually you have to mention here, so that when you create the order, system will by default consider this time in hours, and then it helps in the decision of the dates by which you will deliver the product, you will deliver the service to your customers, right? Because as soon, it's not like that as soon as you got the order, your resources will start working on those products, right? Some basic setups needs to be done before actual work gets started, right? So whatever uh, pre service steps you do before the actual work gets started, so that number of hours you take for that work, you need to put it up here, right? So let's say 2 hours I need before I can actually start working on the real service order, I can put it up here. Then this warranty discount percent, it has two fields like labor and parts, right? So because as soon as you sold the product to the customer, it's not something that right from the day one itself you are charging for that product for any type of service from your customer, right? So you provide the warranties of for your products which you are selling to your customer. So it totally depends that if during the warranty period, if that product come backs to you for any sort of maintenance service or repairment or any sort of thing, then will you charge your customer, uh, or will you not charge your customer, or you will provide some discounts to your customer during the warranty period. So you have to mention here that based on the discount percentage, for example 100 percentage by default is showing up, which means that you will not charge anything during the service period, warranty period, right? And what exactly the default warranty period is, you can define here that maybe 2 year or maybe 1 year, right? So it totally depends that during this 1 year of period after selling the product to the customer, I will not be charging anything, and system will consider 100% discount on your order, service order or service invoices which you will offer to your customers, right? So this is very important, and this will set as default in your service orders, which we will see when we create the service orders. All right, then see this mandatory fields. Okay, in this mandatory fields, you can see here that I have almost set up everything based on like uh, service order type mandatory, which means that when you create the service order, there is a field called service order type, like what type of order you are processing for your customer in terms of services, because services could be of different types. So if you really want to make that field mandatory, which helps you in analyzing your records, analyzing your data, that what type of uh, problems my customers are facing in my different products lineup, right? So definitely you need to check this up. Then service order start mandatory, which means that service order start date and time, as you can see here, specifies that the starting date and the starting time fields on the service order must be filled before you can post the service order, right? So when you create the service order and you want to post it up, so you have to put the starting date and time as a mandatory thing, like when you will start working on that and when what will be the time when you will start working on that. So that is obviously needs to be mandatory field, so you have to check this up. Same goes for service order finish mandatory, like where is the exact time frame by which you can finish your service order. So by default, it will set up, it will pick or the default time when you are working on the service order, but the fields are editable on the order, so you can change it as well. But it's just that it's a mandatory field, so you cannot keep it blank. Okay, then the unit of measure is a mandatory thing, like if you're working with the resources at hand, then how many hours resource is taking in repairing that product, then unit of measure must be mandatory. Fault reason code mandatory, that before you finish up processing your service order, the order must have the information of like what type of fault uh, on that product which you are resolving, right? So that needs to be filled up. Work type code must be mandatory. Salesperson mandatory, you can although I have not set it up, but of course if your business requirement is something that based on how many services order you are getting with the help of your salesperson, and then you will decide the commission from that work, then you can set this up, otherwise no need, right? So this is the use of this mandatory field section. Now, this general tab is something which you can decide on your own. For example, I have set it up few things like shipment on invoices. Like as soon as if I'm not following a regular method of creating a service order and then service invoices, so if I want to create directly the invoice, then I want that as soon as I post the invoice, system will post the shipment as well. All right, then if I want to create like based on there are different types of item you want to use for your service order, like in one service order you can create multiple service items, or you can add or you can go with only one item per order. So I just want that to bring the uniformity and like to which increase the you can say the clarity also. So I just want that my one service order must have only one service item, right? Then if you really want to link the services which you are offering to your different service item, then you can do that as well. Okay. Then the resource skill option is something that whatever the resources like manpower you are using to resolve the or to give the services to you, to the products which you're getting from the customer. Then if you really want to show up the skills of your resources, then you can place this up service zones option, which means that if your business is in different parts of states or the countries, then definitely you will hire the resources on those different parts or different locations. Then you divide those things into a zones, and then you can define that part as well. Fault reporting level is something either you do not want to set up, but you can set it up as fault or fault plus symptom, which means that it just means that to log as much as information you want, you should into your service order or the invoices, so that which helps you in taking the decisions in the future based on like what or how your businesses are and how your products are performing in the market. So that is something which is definitely you need to set it up, right? We will cover this part as well, but first of all, let's see this. Like copy comments on orders to the invoices, copy comments orders to the shipments, which means that whatever comments any particular person is passing into the orders must be pushed to the invoices or the shipments, right? Then this last part is called base calendar code, which you can see here. I have set this up as service. So let me open this up. As you can see that I have created one base calendar called service with the name service schedule 2024, right? For any type of business you're performing, obviously your businesses are uh, depending on the human resource, right? And obviously you do uh, you do decide basically the days when you are working, when you are not working, based on different holidays are coming up, right? So you cannot say until and unless you are not running your business 24/7, then you need to set up basically that on how many days I am working, and based on this calendar which you define into the system, uh, the system Business Central will automatically understand and decide the dates by which you will finish basically the servicing of the products which you are getting from the customers, right? So one calendar you must have set up and assigned to the service management, which will link to all your service order, and the dates will be decided on the basis of that how much time you will take in terms of days in delivering the product to the customer, right? So it's as simple as that. If you just click on new button and let's say uh, ns new service calendar for 2025, right? So as you can see in the line section, almost it is showing uh, day wise, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then this option called coming up called non-working. So as I said that maybe your businesses or you keep an off on Sunday or Saturday, right? Depending on that, you must have to set the things that I don't work on Saturday or I don't work on Sunday, and then you have to do it for every day, like every week you have to define this, which is obviously not very easy. If you are setting up a calendar for year, then you have to do it for all the weeks, right? Which is a very cumbersome activity. So one thing is that rather than doing it one by one from here, you can click on actions, functions, and maintain base calendar changes. And here, as you can see, that it is showing up here as Saturday and Sunday for me, but I can delete this up also if you, let's say, I just work, I just don't want to work on Sunday. So what I can do here is that I can set this up as weekly recurring, okay? And then I can set this up as non-working, which means that every week on Sunday I don't work, right? So if you just go back, and then if you again open this up, sorry, I have assigned this calendar code, but let's see the details. So you can see here that automatically this non-working field gets ticked on Sunday, right? Like this, you can see up here. So now whenever I will create any service order, system will consider only 6 working days as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday, right? So system will not consider it the Sunday as a working day, and thus by default system will not suggest any dates uh, to your customers or to your business that by this day you will finish your activity. So let's say if you are about to finish your activity on uh, Saturday night or around 12 a.m. on Sunday, then system will automatically remove the Sunday's date and put the Monday's date on it, right? So it is like how it actually works. So now I have set it up this base calendar and assigned to my service management setup. So all my service orders will uh, rely on this calendar code. Okay, so this is the main service management setup in order to start working with the service management module. I hope you understand the meanings of almost all the fields which is important for your business, right, before you start working or offering the services to your customers. So in the next part of the video we will start checking about uh, exactly the what exactly the service items and the items, and how to create a new service item, right? So that's it in the today's video. I hope you like it. If you like it, please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.